All right, what up, everyone? John Sales, your host of the NFL Fantasy Today show. I got my guy, Nate Hernandez, here. It's a sad day if you live in Toronto, around Toronto, in Toronto, or all of Canada. The Jays lost in extra innings, Game 7. It's about as heartbreaking as it can be. So I'm here in body, maybe not mind and spirit. Nate, what's cooking?
Not too much. Got to watch a thriller last night. Sorry about the heartbreak, but what a game, man! What a series.
Yeah, I just don't know how they blew it. I mean, Clement hit when he hit it, and we won't talk baseball much, but the outfielders were still in from like the sacrifice bunt, and he's running back, and you saw the collision course, and it was like, oh my god, they're gonna run into each other. And then the center fielder that they just brought in for defensive purposes makes play. It's just just one of those.
Yeah, crazy,
Anyways,
crazy.
okay, on to football. So I mean, really lost in the hype, all this other stuff. We got Chiefs Bills, right?
hmm
Is that the best ticket in sports? I mean,
Yeah, I mean they've been just like the primetime heavyweight battle of what the last 5 years now consecutively. It's been just electric every single time.
yeah, well, kind of, yeah. Last year, we had the Josh Allen 4th and 2 ran the touchdown, but I
hmm
remember the couple years before, I'd always expect shootout, and then it rained a couple times, and it had terrible
hmm
weather, and then also there was a couple unders, but then we had the 13-7 game. But that's the headline. If you could start any player in that game, who are you starting?
Ooh, QBs included.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Um, Probably Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Bills' defense is a big exception to the Chiefs' defense. Like they're a lot worse than the Chiefs defensively. And Mahomes has
Okay,
been automatic, like with 25-point fantasy floor this season.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I was leaning like James Cook because it's harder to get a great running back, and he just ran for 200, and the Chiefs kind of been bad against the run, but. I mean,
hmm
Mahomes is, but then no one's even picking Josh Allen, who we know is going off.
Yeah, he has to be. It'll be desperation from kickoff for him.
So let's do a couple of stats here. So what jumps out at you from these Bill stats? I mean, the Chiefs are top 5 in everything.
Yeah, they have.
Holy, I didn't
They're
realize that.
just an engine, and that's just a tribute to Mahomes. I feel like he has been on another level. The foot's on the gas. Travis Kelsey is playing like twice the player he was last year, and you just have Rasheed Rice dropped into it, and they're healthy. Sans Pacheco this week, but I mean they're just rolling.
So you said that the the Bills D isn't very good, right?
They have been like one of the worst against the run this year.
Sure, yeah,
Um,
but it's just funny. You look at the stats: 31st in QB points allowed. That means they're the second best. 31st in tight end points allowed. 23rd in wide receiver points allowed. But then,
mhm,
yeah, they're allowing the sixth most running back points. And but it's just funny how the stats work because it's like it's a lot of schedule based, right?
mhm,
They played a Tua, they played a Justin Fields.
mhm. Yeah, 100%. I think that Kareem Hunt is like a great RB2 with upside this week. I think that he should be the premier back in KC this week.
Okay, so now the Brashard Smith is getting a lot of love because it's experience first youth. We know what Hunt is. He doesn't really have the explosiveness anymore, but
Yeah, I think given the matchup, if it was more of a pushover matchup, I could see them really like leaning into Brashard Smith and kind of getting him kind of the tread in his tires as we get into the back half of the season. But Kareem Hunt, as much as we wanted him to kind of fade into existence, maybe not we, maybe that's just me because I was a
no,
big
it's
Pacheco
a
guy.
week.
Um, I was a big Pacheco guy this offseason, and it looked like he was kind of picking up the last few weeks until he got hurt. But Kareem Hunt just never gone away, and the Chiefs love him.
Okay, why wouldn't they flex this game to Sunday night? Can they? Do you know the rules?
I don't know. I thought it was maybe like a certain once you get to a certain point in the season, they're allowed to like after like week 14 or
Or
something
just,
like
but
that.
why wasn't it? Why isn't the Sunday night game from the jump? Right? Like, what's the Sunday
hmm
night game this week? Sorry, guys, I'm not locked in this week.
It is Commanders Seahawks
Like,
in Washington.
that's kind of gross. It's okay. It's kind of a fun game, but that's like a Thursday night game, not a Sunday night game.
Yeah, I agree. The Chiefs Bills is like far and away the game to watch this week.
Maybe it's like galaxy brain thinking. You know, you're gonna get audience on Sunday night, so you do this, so you just get a straight streamline, and I don't know. But so yeah, guys, if you're watching, make sure you jump over to YouTube if you're on Twitter. That way you can drop a question in. We'll hopefully let's get some questions, and we'll just keep hammering away, keep previewing games. All right, you pick a game. What do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
Let's see. Let's stay on Sunday night because I did the preview for that.
Okay, nice.
Kind of a little bit fresher on the brain. But I think that it's coming to this matchup. You got receiver hurt on both sides of the football. You got Terry McLaurin who re-injured his quad, and I think he got placed on IR this time around. Did I read that right, or is he just re-injured and not placed?
I think re-injured, but
Julian Love got placed on IR coming into this game. He re-injured his injury at practice this week, and the Seahawks DB will be on injured reserve. But Cooper Kupp is also missing this game after hurting his heel or hamstring in practice this week, maybe both. Um,
I just
it
started
should,
them too.
yeah. I think that this is a big favorable matchup for the Seahawks. I think that they just are the better team. They're more well-rounded. The way they attack the offense is a way that the Commanders has been beat all year. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been automatic, basically the wide receiver one once Puka was ruled out. I think they're tied for the league lead in fantasy points per game this season.
Chase hasn't. I don't feel like Chase has got to have been climbed up there. He's had like 3 straight, like top 4 weeks.
I think it's actually Rashee Rice at like 20.7 in his
Yeah,
2
yeah,
games,
yeah. That's cool.
but I think Chase was fourth, right below. The Commanders are first in EPA per pass on targets of 10 or more air yards, so that includes intermediate and deep shots, and that's purely just Sam Darnold to JSN this year. And the Commanders, on their side of the defense, they have allowed the 8th highest EPA per pass on those targets of 10 plus air yards this year. So it should just be a feeding frenzy for Seattle in this one.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. They're a bit of a pass funnel, right? They've been good against the run. So, but so like, what about the Walker Charbonnet? What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, I was going to go there. For the running game, let me pull it up real quick. So Charbonnet has kind of dominated the goal line usage for Seattle. At least the goal to go usage. He has 5 touchdowns on goal line handoffs. And Walker's kind of operated as like the primary back between the 20s. He's been so much more explosive. I think Charbonnet's sitting at like 2.8 yards per carry, but it's partly due to his role too. But the Commanders specifically have been bad at defending runs that go outside the tackles.
The zone running.
Yeah, they are, I think, 6th worst in that area of the field. And so Seattle, unfortunately, has been the worst team at running outside the tackles this year, but they do it at like the 6th highest rate. So they will be doing it often, even though it hasn't worked well for them this season. And it's been a weakness of the Commanders. So I think you'll see Kenneth Walker maybe break off a few more explosive runs in this one.
Okay, so you'd start Walker over Sharp. Sharps isn't a start, even though he's kind of getting a touchdown every week, but he's getting like 10 carries for 20 yards in a TD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that Charbonnet is kind of like a weekly touchdown or bust flex play, and Kenneth Walker is kind of like you play the matchups and you play him as an RB2 or not, depending on who you have on your team. I think this is a spot that
you took him 2nd, 3rd round. Yeah, he's been healthy and he's been just good enough to kind of keep playing. But did you see any stats? Why aren't they throwing to the running backs this year? Because last year Walker almost like doubled his production from the previous 2 years. Right? I know it was Gino, but like I felt like Walker was getting checked down all the time. He was kind of like a mini Bijan, right? He was getting these 20, 30-yard gashes. Charbonnet is kind of a more receiving back. I expected, maybe 8 catches combined. Well, maybe that's a little high, but like something, 10 targets combined, and they're getting maybe 3, 4 targets a game.
Yeah, it's been super condensed offense for them. And to be honest with you, I don't have any numbers on the running back receiving work in this offense, but it does make sense. Maybe it's because they've had an emergence of a tight end that they like in the short area of the field, with AJ Barner. But you're right. Like Charbonnet was leaking out on like big like Texas wheel route gains. Like I feel like every other game last year, and And like you said, Walker's so good in the short, like screen game, swing passes, just getting him in open space. He's so electric. It makes perfect sense, but I don't know why they do it. They've gone away from it.
So the best stat to kind of explain that, Seattle 31st in EPA per run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, running back usage. No, wait, EPA per run. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that doesn't really factor, but that should be like, okay, we're not running well. We got these good running backs. Let's throw the ball a bit.
Yeah, and it. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going from here, but
Okay, I wanted to just do a quick Thursday recap, right? Because we had that kind
mm-hmm.
of supposed to be a sneaky, really good game, but Miami at home, they're like 8-point dogs, and they just no showed. So like, do we think Tua will get benched? And if you're a super flex league, would you pick up Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson, or is like Miami toast?
Like they're not toast because they have guys like Jalen Waddle and Devon Achane, and they're such a big like kind of yak heavy team. Like just get the ball into your players' hands and let them run wild. Um, so in that sense, like it is like a system where like a quarterback that can just get it to their guys can find fantasy success. That said, I don't know who the backup necessarily would be that they would name right away. I would think it's Ewers, but I don't know.
Who do you think, does it McDaniel get fired or Tua get benched? Like, could they trade Tua? Like, I guess Cincy wouldn't really want him, but I'm just trying to think. Like, there's all these teams without a QB. Was just Tua a guy you'd want to trade for instead of Joe Flacco or someone else who's really bad?
Maybe not. I kind of feel like since they fired the GM and not the coach, they trust the play calling and they're maybe more concerned about roster construction and like personnel decision that they've made. That said, it's been 1 week and McDaniels could easily be on the way out
Yeah.
himself too.
Like, what about Gino? Right, Gino sucks now. Right, Tua could go to the Raiders. You got Brock Bowers, Jacoby, Trey Tucker's emerging. Hand it off to Genty. I mean, sometimes like we've seen these veteran QBs. He's a vet now. All they need is a change of scenery, right? Baker went from getting bounced around, cut by Carolina, to one of the best QBs in the league. Gino did the same resurrection, and now he sucks again. Joe Flacco, I remember when he was on the Jets, I'm like, you are the worst quarterback I've ever seen. Now he's 40, slinging it to Chase for 30, 25 times a game. So what's your best Tua situation? Where would you want him to go?
Man, best Tua situation. I don't even know.
I think you'd want him in a strong O line.
Yeah, so not in Vegas. That's for damn sure. Man, like Arizona.
Ooh, yeah, that's not bad.
Like if they decide to move, like what does a Kyler Murray Tua Tagovailoa swap look like? Is that anything that's feasible?
Yeah. I don't know how the cap works, but yeah, and yeah, you want to keep Tua in the South, right? You don't want him going up to like, obviously not Buffalo, but like somewhere where it's going to be cold. He's got playing bad weather games. Yeah, okay. So then quickly there, so we got Jacoby starting for Kyler. That's kind of a plus, right? Because Dallas, like, would you start Jacoby in one QB league?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been so awesome. It's Dallas. Trey McBride has looked fantastic out there with Jacoby. I mean, he looks fantastic nonetheless, but Jacoby Brissett is really like standing in the pocket and getting in the football. It's awesome.
Yeah, like it shouldn't be that hard. Like it, like. Let's see the Dallas. Where's Dallas? None of their defensive numbers have changed.
Yeah, they're the Monday night game this week.
Right, so
on the right. But they're first in QB points allowed, first in receiver points allowed, 21st in tight end points allowed. But I think McBride, you don't care. He's just like an anomaly. You don't look at the matchup ratings.
Yeah, that's definitely just got to be who they've played, right? Because I remember they played Green Bay, and Tucker Kraft, I'm sure, had a great game with the 40-40 tie.
That sounds right. I don't have it in front of me, but
so with that, Matt, like when you see 21st versus first, like let's say for some reason you had just a flex spot available, would you play Marvin Harrison Jr. because of that matchup, or would you play Trey McBride because he's Trey McBride?
Play Trey McBride.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Yeah. In other cases, though, I think like when it's closer, like if it was say like if they're taking on Buffalo, who has like particularly defended tight ends really well. Maybe you play like Michael Pittman over Tyler Warren in a flex, but like for the most part, just play talent.
Yeah, that's a great comp. I'd probably play Pittman over Warren, just all things being equal, but like that it's really close.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, hit us up with some questions, right? Give us some start tips. We know nobody's the Discord's been popping off, so I know people out there need help, but we'll just get a couple here. All right, Dylan, my pregame question king. What up? Let's have a day. I just wish I felt better. Full PPR, one flex. T. Higgins for Chicago. That looks great. Tucker Craft Carolina. That looks even better. Have Warren and Tien. Isn't the double tight end play the best when you got like I got the McBride Warren and I just put him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Project to be close matchup. That's always good. Okay, so full PPR. T. Higgins or Tucker Craft. I mean, this team. I think this is pretty easy, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got to be T. Higgins.
What?
I know like Tucker Craft is a smash play, but like true ceiling this week, I feel like it's T. Higgins. If it's, I don't know. I feel like this
matchup Bears.
I feel like Bears Bengals could be like what we saw like from the Jets Bengals, like just this. There's 70 points on the board combined.
So nice. This is such a great lead-in. So this is what we were talking about, right? So the Bears are they're 11th to wide receiver points allowed, but their secondary is crap. We know
Banged
Cincy's
up
going
all
to put
year.
up points, so everyone's going to throw. But like Kraft just had 143, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Christian Watson's not going to get that much usage unless Carolina's like great versus the tight end.
No, they're ninth. They allow the ninth most, so it is like a good matchup. And I'm really like if you could start both of them, I would. And you really can't go wrong either way.
No, but like,
and you know what, the Joe Flacco AC joint, even though he's playing through it, that may be enough to just like take less of the variables out, or take more variables out of the equation, and just start your talented tight end against a good matchup.
Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, Higgins is great, but what did he have last week? He had 2 targets? He had 1 catch, but it was a 41-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know Tucker Kraft's going to get the volume. I mean, I guess maybe if Green Bay blows out Carolina, Jacobs has 25 carries and Emmanuel Wilson has like 10. But like, if we just pull up Kraft's usage, like if you put their numbers side by side, Kraft kills him probably every game.
Yeah. Packers are third in tight end fantasy usage over the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer just because Flacco's been great. He's been great for Higgins because T. Higgins was unplayable for the first 3-4 weeks, right? He was like 3 for 30. And then he's been more like 5 for 80, 5 for 70 with Flacco. But last week, yeah, he was only like the 1 for 41, but it was a touchdown. So like Higgins is definitely playable and a good start. But I mean, you got to give me Jamar Chase to go over Tucker Kraft.
Yeah. I feel it. 100%. I'd probably switch to Kraft after this discussion.
Yeah. All right. There you go, Dylan. Unless Higgins is a better game, then you can blame me. Tug drug fishing. I think that's what that is. I don't know what that means, but all right. Theo or Loveland? Theo. Who's Theo? My brain doesn't.
Theo Johnson, Giants tight end. I think Daniel Bellinger has a neck injury, so Theo Johnson might be more exclusive. See a more exclusive target share. And we'll probably see a ton of kind of underneath looks in this one. I think I trust Theo Johnson's role. Loveland just hasn't done it yet, and Theo Johnson's popped for a few big weeks already. And no Scattaboo. That's just more target share to go around.
True. Cole Kmet's out too, right?
Is he?
Oh, it's just he was bottomless.
Here to return.
Huh? Yes.
Return.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Theo Johnson. Yeah, because Scattaboo's getting like 5-6 receptions, right? So I don't. Darius Slayton's not really that good. Wandale's been awesome, but yeah, rookie QB who's actually not running as much as people thought, right? Negative game script because I mean the Niners probably going to be running it up on the Giants. No Fred Warner. Cut opens the middle of the field, so a lot of stuff there to like for Theo. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'd like to know what's your league like. That's kind of a bottom barrel tight end situation. It's not, unless we got somebody on a bye because we got Brock Bowers. All the elite tight ends are back now. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of great options this week. I don't know if they're out there on the wire.
Not where. So what was your tight end rankings this week? Top 5.
I think it was Warren.
Wow.
I think I had Warren Warren McBride, Kraft.
Bowers.
No. Sorry, let me pull it up so I can just say it right. But I think I had Gadsden in the mix. I had who'd you say? Bowers is definitely in the mix. Kittle is the fourth. It's Kittle, Gadsden, 4 and 5, and then I think I have Kelsey and then Bowers after that.
Bowers 7. Bowers. If you hear me, Nate, Raiders fan, has used the tight end 7 this week.
Hear me out. I am very
downloading TikTok. Let's go.
I'm very, very, very optimistic for Brock Bowers rest of the season. I am just always hesitant to play players fresh off an injury. Yes, he had the time to recover, but just like it's going to give there are so many great options this week that it just I trust them. They've been doing it. And the Raiders are like 4-16 off a bye over the last like 20 years. We suck, man. Like that said, I have very high expectations for Bowers rest of the season. I think he should be back to his elite status.
So yeah, because Raiders playing the Jags. Jags are 13th, tight end points allowed. All right, defensive pass rate over expectation. The Jags defense. It's their first. So that means teams are running on them, right?
No, first means they are. I'm sorry, that should be green. They are throwing at a league high rate. So they are.
We just changed it while I was staring at it. That was funny. Okay, so we got a team. Their first half in tight end points, but maybe they haven't been playing tight ends. Maybe it's higher. The secondary's not good.
Travis Hunter's out.
Travis, Travis. Yeah, Hunter and Bowers. That would be cool. But you're saying you start Gadsden, this rookie with a 3-game history, who's been amazing, over Brock Bowers.
I am very high on Gadsden. That said, the floor can come out from Gadsden in this one with the matchup. The target opportunity will 100% be there for Bowers in this one. But Gadsden may have the game script removed if the Chargers somehow run away with this. But I think the Titans could compete.
Okay. Sorry, we got sidetracked there. All right, Tanner Runyon, Bo Nix or Jacoby Brissett. I was gonna say this is what I was gonna say before. I was gonna say, okay, would you start Brissett in 1 QB leagues if you have Bo Nix? Bo Nix is coming off, back-to-back 4 touchdown games. It's like impossible to bench Bo Nix unless you have the QB playing the Cowboys.
I think if you have a Houston matchup for Bo Nix, I think that it's really tough. They're like the worst matchup to run into for.
Nate froze there. I think the worst matchup for QBs and running backs because they were. I remember a couple weeks ago they'd only given up 3 passing touchdowns. Oh wow, Brock! Right, they're 30 EP defense, 32nd in QB points allowed, 29th in wide receiver points, 28th in pass rate over expectation. The teams are running on them and not throwing well. Oh, okay, Nate's back. Nate, should I just leave your copy here?
You can delete that. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry about that. My browser crashed. But yeah, the Texans have been like one of the worst matchups to run into for fantasy assets this year. I think you said they pointed out they're dead 31st in defensive pass rate over expected.
Yeah, I did that while you were frozen. But
okay, sick.
So this is a kind of classic. It's like kind of talent versus matchup. Previous, it's like what you've done recently versus matchup, and everything. We're just saying matchup because it's Dallas, right? Because they're that bad. Because this is it. This is the test case. Like Bo Nix, 8 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Is he the QB1 the last 2 weeks? I mean, he's been murdering people. But this could be a 13-9 game, right? In Dallas, if it's 13-9 after the first quarter, I'd be like, wow, it's low scoring.
Yeah. This is brutal. I feel like, because man, if you play Bo Nix and he like duds Sunday, and then you have to watch Jacoby Brissett light up the Cowboys for like 30 points.
I think it's flipped on that one. If you start
Yeah.
Brissett and like go, Galaxy Brain, and then Bo Nix plays really well again, and it's that's the one I'd be more worried about. But because Brissett last year, he was the worst QB. I was betting his under yards at like 170, and he was going under comfortably. Like, it was ridiculous. But I mean, maybe what about possible stacks? Like, what if you have like a Troy Franklin, Cortland Sutton? Is there any way? Like, I'm starting Brissett. I'm playing the match because he's looked good. He's got McBride. Like, I'm starting Brissett. But
I just don't think there's a ceiling outcome for Bo Nix in this one. Like, to me, he has to get it done with like some rushing production. I don't see him throwing more than a pair of touchdowns. Like, have the Texans even allowed a QB to score more than 2 touchdowns in a game this season? I wouldn't be surprised if that's not true.
yeah, I was just gonna pull that. I was just gonna look. I was gonna see. Yeah, 20. So they allowed 15 points. So Seahawks put up 27 2 weeks ago. And Sam Darnold only had 1. Charbonnet was gutless 2 touchdowns.
I think it's just a big J.K. Dobbins game to me. Like we pointed out, the teams are running it at a high rate on the Texans coming into them, and Dobbins has done that effectively. He's 4th highest in rush yards over expected per carry this season among NFL running backs. Just creating space when there's not. I think the R.J. Harvey 3 touchdown game was a bit of a fluky performance against a bad Dallas defense.
Yeah, so Brissett, like, he's been the QB7 versus Indy, QB12 versus Green Bay, like, versus the Packers, one of the best defenses. He threw up 279, 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 26 yards. I want to find what's the line, like, Josh. Like, obviously we can't start Brissett over Josh Allen, right?
No shot.
Drake May, Dak Prescott.
No, neither.
No? Okay.
No.
So that's the line. But yeah,
I think I'm just down on Bo Nix this week with the matchup. So it's a tough call. Talent versus matchup. It's what you value more.
Yeah, but it's like I'd love to see what are the QB ranks of the teams Dallas has gone against. Right? Has anyone finished outside the top 10?
That's a good question. I wonder if I could pull up something similar.
Anthony, my man, we're with you. I wish you were here. 2 dart questions: Goff or dart? 6-point pass? Dak or dart? You just want to play dart. 4-point pass. Okay, this is kind of fun. 6-point pass CD. Goff. I don't know what Minnesota team this is. Is it the team that was terrible versus the run and awesome versus the pass early, or the team now that sucks versus the pass? And now we got JJ McCarthy, so it's not really going to be high scoring. Both teams might try and run it. I mean, I don't know. Do you like Goff in this matchup?
I like Goff in every matchup because he's attached to the Lions offense, but the Vikings are 31st in defensive pass rate over expected, meaning teams are running it boatload against them. And obviously the Lions have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know why I said it in that order. But I think that a majority of the production from the Lions will come on the ground in this one. But with Dart, you're hoping for rushing, like the rushing floor stays there. He's had like a rushing touchdown in 4 last 5 weeks, I feel like. And I feel like the Niners play kind of preventative, and they've had trouble getting pass rush without Nick Bosa. So I think that like the underneath stuff will be there, but can the Giants put it in the end zone?
Yeah, but just stick with the Goff thing, right? So the Vikings played the Eagles, right? That Hurts threw for 326. Barkley was 18 of 44, right? And then they played the Chargers. They lost 37-10 last week, and Herbert let them up. So it's like sometimes these defenses slip, right? So you can throw very easily on Minnesota now, but maybe you can run it too. So, Goff at home. I would play Goff at home just because it's safer. You're probably 250, 2 touchdowns. You can just, take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Whereas, Dart's super fun and awesome, but without Scatterboo, do teams load up on him? Do they stack the box? But nobody cares about, Tyrone Tracy. I'm playing Goff and taking the high floor versus chasing Dart's crazy ceiling. Same with Dak, 4-point pass TD. Okay, sure, but it's like I love Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He had a bad week last week versus Denver. I don't think he's going to do it twice in a row. I mean, I think Lamb's going for 150.
Yeah, I agree.
Even a Giants fan, I know he wants to put Dart into one of these games because he doesn't want to bench Dart twice, and then he runs for 102 touchdowns.
Yeah,
So
if
if
you
you had
want
to
to,
pick Dart in one of these, which one are you taking?
I'm probably taking Dart over Goff. Because I think their floors are kind of similar with the rushing upside Dart could bring, especially if he has to use it more with Scadaboo out.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, Goff or Dak, who's gonna who's gonna have the worst game? I think it's more likely that Detroit blows out Minnesota, and then it's the Gibbs Monty show for 200 rushing yards, and Goff is maybe has 1 touchdown, 220. Then Dak, not having 2 touchdowns, 250. I just don't. I don't think Javonte is going to be running wild.
Yeah, think of how bad Dallas's defense is, and they just have to put points on the board with how bad they've been defensively.
Yeah, right. It's essentially if we're calling this Cincy from last year. Is there any situation last year where you're benching Joe Burrow?
Yeah, probably not. The volume is there every single week.
Right. So think of it: Joe Burrow or Jackson Dart. Maybe that'll make it simpler, right? Okay. All right, Anthony. Let us know. You got any more questions or you want to jump in? Frosty, Keenan or Woody? PPR. Nick or Dart? Ooh, okay. All right. Keenan versus Woody. You got a lean here?
Like the Chargers are a team that could be game scripted out of the pass if they end up putting up points on the board early against Tennessee. They seem comfortable just handing it off to Kamani Vidal and running out the clock if they need to, or when it gets time to. And Woody Marks, I was watching the Mina Kimes and Ben Solak break down the matchups this week, and
Nice.
I saw her mention that Woody Marks is the Broncos have been like the worst at, or bottom 3 at least in defending receiving running backs this season. And if they can get Woody the ball in open space and just give him runs up the gut too, I think that if he could see somewhere like 15 touch in this game, he could easily turn in like a fringe high end RB2 performance.
Yeah, I get. I mean, I see that. I mean, yeah, his usage is probably going to be safer, but Brian always goes to like the Vegas point total thing. So it's like, how many points are the Chargers scheduled to score, right? So if it's Chargers, it's only 43, right? 43 with their 10-point favorites. So that's what, like 30-10, 30-10, 31. Their schedule probably score what, 28 points? I can't do the math right now. 28, 29 points. And then Houston's probably what, maybe 8-19?
Lowest point total on the week in that game, 39.5, but they are 1.5 point favorites.
Yeah, but Chargers are 9.5 point favorites on Tennessee, right? So it's like I just your screen's glitching. I think the Chargers are more likely to put up touchdowns. We've seen Keenan loves throwing touchdowns. Sorry, the screen's freaking me out. Herbert does. So I would lean Keenan here, but Woody's probably guaranteed a little more usage, but Keenan's probably definitely a little bit more upside. More likely to score, but even then, I don't know because it's running back. Running backs score more. Keenan's been a little boomy busty too.
I will say the Titans, even though they've been like a squash matchup this year, teams are still they still have the 9th best defensive pass rate over expected. So they're still throwing against them a lot this year, even though teams should be up on them for a majority of the games and playing with the positive game script.
Yeah, it's tough. Chargers put up 37 last week. I think that offense is kind of rolling, and they only got one viable running back. And Titans terrible, right? What Indy put up they put up 38 on Indy last week, or Indy put up 38 in Tennessee, but only in like 3 quarters. So I'd roll with Keenan. PPR is probably a mush. Okay, Knicks or Dart, 4-point QB. I guess are we ever going to pick Knicks?
Yeah, probably not in this one. 4-point QB. I like Dart's rushing upside more, even though Knicks can do it too. We've seen it the last few weeks. I think it'll be there more for Dart against SF with their banged up defense. No Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. Um, it, yeah, I'm more scared of Houston's defense than anything right now.
Yeah, and also the Houston. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. That one's tough. 4 points. Who's more likely to throw more passing touchdowns, Knicks or Dart? Probably Nick. But Knicks has got to be right because he's got what,
He's got the
4?
weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's tough. It's just kind of a bad week for Knicks. Okay, one Pina Jr. All right, guys, if you're on Twitter, jump over to YouTube. Tanner, I see you watching on Twitter. Come over. Just kidding. Where am I? All right. Who are my wide receiver 2 and 3 flex spots? Wide receiver 2 and 3 and flex spot. Okay, we got Debo, Shamir Dyke, Jordan Addison, Keyshawn Butte, Quinn Johnson. Okay. I mean, I think Johnson's got to be out, right? He's the last man on the trough.
Yeah.
Butte's been great, but he's playing Atlanta, so he gets downgraded. I think Addison is out because we don't know if JJ McCarthy can throw.
Yeah, I think I think DK's kind of been like he's been popping the last few weeks. They dumbed down the offense, made it easier for Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Chargers are a little banged up defensively, I believe. They're beatable. Tennessee should be dropping back a ton. I think the Chargers are top 5 in defensive PROE.
No Calvin Ridley.
Yep, no Calvin Ridley, condensed target share. Ton of dropbacks in this one for DK, and then you're starting Debo for sure.
Yeah. So Debo, DK, wide receiver 2 and 3, boom, easy money. So who we flexing?
I'm
leaning Butte because he's just a touchdown machine. But I mean, we can't call that Atlanta defense a fluke anymore.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
This is tough.
They're both. All three are in their own individual weeks are unbelievable. Johnson was the wide receiver 8 for the first 4 weeks. Addison was insane last year and was great with Wentz. And Butte's been as reliable as any as like a touchdown deep threat.
Yeah, man. I feel like Addison has the most guaranteed dropbacks in the offense with Minnesota going against Detroit. They should be playing from behind in this one, trying to contend with that Lions offense. It's sketchy. If you want who's done it, it's Butte. If you want who's in the best environment this week, I think it's Addison.
Yeah, so let's just do a couple quick stats here. So Vikings, Lions, Lions are 7th in wide receiver points allowed, but it's hard to trust JJ McCarthy. But it's just crazy Atlanta, right? 27th in wide receiver points allowed for Atlanta. That's a real thing. Pats have been amazing. Maybe Diggs gets locked on and Butte gets loose, but Atlanta defense is real. And then the last Quinn Johnson, it's just he's just not getting the targets. Their Titans are 10th in the wide receiver points, but Gadsden's really just iced him out of the whole offense.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't start Quinn Johnson unless either Ladd or Keenan got hurt. Then he becomes kind of must start again.
Agree.
Okay, guys, we're just gonna go for a few more minutes here. So Terry, Hale, something. I hope so. Start 2. Okay, Chase Brown, Bam Knight. So really, to start 1 because we're starting Bam Knight, but. Rico Dowdle also flex. So let's just stay in the first part. We're just starting Bam Knight, right? It's you start players against Dallas.
Yeah, I'm really sketched out by what they're doing with Michael Carter and Amari DiMercato. I think is back healthy this week. There's talks of a 3 running back rotation. Yes, it's Dallas.
But did you see the blurb where they said Bam's the first running back out there?
Yeah, he's the first running back out there, but they also said that all 3 running backs could have their roles, and it's a matter of whether or not Michael Carter gets activated or not, and I think he will. That said, Bam Knight is probably the most likely to get the goal line touches. So if you're going the RB1 against the Cowboys offense, Bam Knight is who you should play, but it is sketchy.
That's true. Yeah, the Carter thing. They cut him and then it's just. It seems like a weird. I call it running back whack-a-mole on the thing. But I think DeMarcado, they're still pissed about when he kind of flubbed that touchdown. Bam Knight's got a great name, and also it's like if you go first series, if he gets like 4 carries, 40 yards or something, which is easily, they're gonna roll with the hot hand. But yeah, it is a little unpredictable. So I get it. Okay, and Chase Brown's been great 2 weeks in a row, right? And now he gets the Bears, another nice matchup.
And Rico, I would not look like, man, if he's getting the keys, like the way the Panthers even have a chance in this game against the Packers is to establish the run, and Rico has been awesome with the football in his hands. So there is a chance where Rico, like, if he gets going on the first drive, it could be another big day.
Okay, Bears are 10th in running back points allowed, so you can run on them. Plus, if Flacco is kind of banged up, maybe they don't want him throwing 45 times.
Yeah,
and he's trying to establish the run. Okay, so
maybe his
harder.
A dot shortens too, and he's throwing shorter to Chase Brown, and maybe like Noah Fant a little more in this one.
Okay, Nathan. Nathan has talked me out of the auto Bam Night start. So Rico versus Green Bay, that's the worst matchup, right? We get Chase Brown versus the Bears, Bam Night versus the Dallas. Matchup versus talent. Sure, yeah, Rico's ran for 200 yards in a game twice. So
Bam Knight isn't running for 200 yards. I don't care who he's going against.
Fair enough. So what's your 2 here? This is.
I think it's Brown and Rico for me. But like, if you want to roll the dice with Bam Knight, I would not be upset because it's the Cowboys matchup.
Yeah, it's tough. Like Chase Brown he's finally looked good the last 2 weeks, right?
Like in a vacuum, I'm comfortable starting all 3 of these as RB2s this week.
Yeah.
But I'd go Brown and Rico.
Okay, Brown and Rico. Okay, that's probably the safest. That's the safest. But maybe Bam gets a series and then they alternate in. But who's more? I'm worried the Panthers only score 10 points, but it's tough. So this is tied back into. This is easy. Kyle Singer says Jacoby Brissett, Mac Jones, or Trevor Lawrence. Pick one QB. Okay, I am going to pick Jacoby Brissett. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not upset at Mac Jones either. The Giants' defense has been pretty bad, but that also seems like a game where they could just go to Christian McCaffrey a ton.
Well, but if it's in the passing game, then that would work.
That's true. Giants have been bad all over.
But they've got that great D line. Nobody's ever been able to explain that to me. But they're third in QB points allowed. That's pretty attractive.
Niners getting healthier. No Pearsall this week, right? But you got Kittle, Jennings, and Kendrick Bourne out there. CMC, of course.
Maybe is there a stack that can so Lawrence is out. We're not doing him. So if it's Brissett and Mac Jones, matchup's pretty similar. Cowboys suck, Giants suck. Probably both teams putting up 30. What's the fear?
Yeah, I feel like
Trevon Diggs. He's saying Diggs.
Yeah. I think like the volume should be there for Brissett. But Mac Jones, I could see like a dud case where like CMC scores the 2 Niners offensive touchdowns, and that's enough to win the game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brissett went for 280 and 2 touchdowns versus the Packers. Like, what's he going to do versus Dallas?
I also feel like Shanahan likes to pick on bad defenses too. So maybe there's a ceiling case for Mac Jones too.
I'm just trying to see if there's a little. The thing with Trevor Lawrence though, right? That Raiders secondary, right? Also terrible, right?
Yeah, pass rush has been strong. You lose Travis Hunter. We are the Raiders, so you're going to get more positive field position than you'll ever get against anyone else. So the scoring opportunities will always be there. But
what about game script, right? So we got Arizona at Dallas Monday night game. Brissett's a veteran, so Dallas to be putting up 35, so Arizona's in catch-up mode. That kind of helps Brissett. Whereas Mac Jones, if they go up 14-0, they're not going to have him throwing that much. And he's also kind of banged up too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and if you're throwing Lawrence in that conversation too, I don't think the Raiders will have a whole ton of success, or at least not pose a threat to where Lawrence is going to have to put his foot on the gas the same way Jacoby Brissett should.
Is there a stack? Like, what if you had Brian Thomas Jr.? Would you lean towards playing Lawrence?
Yeah, and then if you have McBride, that'll flip you the other way. But
and George Kittle?
Yeah, that would be the one.
It's over. It's a wrap. He's got McBride.
All right, yeah, man, just stack that up against Dallas and
yeah.
And clear your plans Monday night and get ready to ride on Jacoby Brissett.
You buried the lead with that one, my man. Okay. So let's go. We'll just go 2 more minutes. Let's hit one more game quickly. Your dealer's choice. Pick one.
All right. Let's go.
What haven't we touched on?
Saints Rams. We haven't hit that at all. Puka back this week. You're starting him. Devontae Adams is such a great red zone target for this offense. You're starting him. Kyron Williams, you're starting him. Start your Rams. You can play Chris Olave in PPR leagues, maybe stream Juwan Johnson. But I think there's going to be a ton of quick throws for Tyler Shuck this week. So PPR feels like an okay play for the Saints guys, but I'm not looking to play him against this Rams defense off a bye in Shuck's first NFL start.
Kamara, he's playing, but he's banged up. Like, let me finish.
Sorry.
Okay. But in that, we had that Rico, Bam, Chase Brown. Is Kamara, where does he fit in that hierarchy for you?
Fourth.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm out on Kamara right now. It just hasn't been there. He left the last game hurt too. It looks like it didn't affect him in the practice reports this week. Yeah, just so it's just so pitiful this run game, and it sucks that he doesn't want to get traded.
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna do it for us, guys. We will be. Okay. Fine, Tizzy. Last one. Brian Thomas Jr. or Marv. I mean, this is the theme. Start Marv, but Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, that's almost as nice as matchup. Travis Hunter out. Are they really going to throw to Parker Washington or Dynamic Brown? This is tough. I think I'm Brian Thomas Jr.
This is really tough. I think you're right, though. I think you're right.
Because we've seen Brissett. He's really leaning out on McBride. He's not really funneling Marvin Harrison Jr. That could change. But, maybe even Travis Hunter, even though his usage wasn't that much, maybe it's just it just needed the hierarchy to just get rearranged. And this could be it. So, Brian Thomas Jr. by a hair.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's going to do it for us. If we didn't get any questions, if we missed you or you didn't get a question, just head over to our Discord. I'll be checking it out before kickoff, or you can just tweet us directly at John Mosales, at NateH714. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully Tuesday pod, Thursday pod, and then next Sunday for sure. Week 10 banger. That's going to do it. All right, Nate. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Catch you later.
All right. Yeah.